We have some more Kung Fu footage. This is 1932, guys. 1932. And this is in the Forbidden City. That structure up there is called the Temple of Heaven, the Gugong. And these are just little military warm-up exercises. Just doing, it's called the Dadao. That little big broadsword, it's called a Dadao. Even during World War II, some of the Chinese soldiers cut Japanese soldiers down with these. Now we have 1936, Shandong and Nanjing. Shandong was a German possession, and then after World War I, it got turned over to the Japanese. And very low stances, man. I mean, you know, these are just warm-up drills, but looks a lot like modern Kung Fu. I don't see kind of any difference between this type of Kung Fu and the type of Kung Fu that we saw after the Cultural Revolution. Same here. We have a guy doing a sword form, Dao. And see, just like the stuff I used to do back when I was little. Looks basically the same. In fact, it looks sloppier because, you know, once Kung Fu became more acrobatic dance, when the communists took over, they made it prettier. So this is just a sloppier version. But I doubt, even these two, they're just performing. I doubt these guys really have ever fought people with their swords. Have they ever cut people with their swords? I don't know. It's just performing. So the only difference between this and modern Kung Fu is that modern Kung Fu looks prettier. I mean, I could be wrong, guys. Correct me. Maybe these guys have cut 100 people before. Here we have more Forbidden City footage. This is 1932. And these are just soldiers doing some warm-ups. Again, sloppy punches. They're not even good warm-ups, man. What are you doing? Look at that. Wait, guys, did you see that? I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to point it out real quickly. Look at one of these guys right here. One of these guys is so lost. Look at that. Look at him. He's like, I don't know what to do. Look at that guy. Anyways. Pre-communism Kung Fu, man. Again, you can argue it's just warm-ups. So, let's look at some sparring. Yes, guys, I found more Kung Fu sparring. Look at this. It's Chinese Saber, the guy on the right, practicing against Bayonet. Look at there's military exercises. So, I assume these were some of the troops that later fought when the Japanese attacked. You know, the Japanese attacked many times, but when the Japanese decided to really attack in 1937, this was it. So, these guys, look at that. That's pretty. See, when you start making it lethal, it looks like any other type of HEMA or any other type of martial art, whether Japanese or Korean. There's only a few ways to kill people. See, he's attacking the arm, and then the bayonet guy, it's a thrusting, right? It's a thrusting versus a stash. See, every time the guy attacks the arm, okay? He thrusts you, I attack the arm, I cut his arm. So interesting. Look at that. Let's see what he does here. It's a different stance, not the kendo stance. What? It's not showing the other side. Show the other side. Come on. I like the realism. They're like, okay, look, just because we're wearing protection does not mean we're not going to pretend that one cut's not going to kill you in real life. So look how cautious they are. I love this. This is really cool. By the way, a siren's going on outside. It's not from the video. It's not like someone in the video had to go to the hospital. Although, during World War II, probably a lot of them had to go to the hospital. That's why war sucks, people. So here we have more bayonet practice. Look at this. This is military training. I really wonder, though, guys, during World War II and stuff, when they were having bayonet fights, it's like a row of guys or 2 rows of guys versus 2 rows of guys, right? I feel like it's just, there's really no skill to it. It's just like, because there's so many people stabbing at so many other people. Just like stab, thrust. But this is really cool to see them practice this. Look at that. This video is entirely bayonet practice. Wow. I've never seen this type of stuff in China before. 1934 in Nanjing. Here is just a Chinese sword form. We'll end off with the dancing stuff. again, since we saw footage of people sparring, the soldiers sparring, I assume soldiers would have probably taken these swords and sparred with them too. That kind of looks like a Ninganato, but it's not. I believe that's what it's called in Japanese. That's not. This weapon came from the Jurchens, who ruled over China during its last dynasty. They used this weapon a lot. I don't know what it's called in Chinese even, but you can call it a Manchurian sword. And this leads to where we started, which is really funny. So now we piece the footage together. So the first footage we saw was just the second part of this last footage. So we can watch some more practicing their tornado kick. The tornado kick even had like aspects of performance, because notice how they were doing it. You'll see soon. See, they were hitting their feet. See, they're hitting their hands with their feet to make the sound. That's part of like the Peking opera, the performing part of wushu. Now we know that stuff, the sort of the hitting your hand with your tornado kick stuff's been in Chinese Kung Fu since the 30s. Anyway, sorry, I forgot to tell the dates. This one's from 1929, and then the one we saw was from 32, and then this one is 1933. So guys, all of this stuff is pre-communism. All this stuff is pre-cultural revolution. We saw some sparring, but a lot of the dance fu, the Peking opera fu stuff seems to have been deeply ingrained in a lot of these styles already. I think, to its credit, we see examples of when they actually test it out. Although you could almost argue that this is not Kung Fu. This is just military training you how to kill. Is that really, could you even consider this Kung Fu? So that's the question I'm going to pose to you guys. Is this even Kung Fu? This one maybe, because, you know, it's got the Chinese sword. They're trying to use Chinese sword to fight the Japanese bayonet. Or, not Japanese bayonet, the modern military bayonet. Because a lot of the Japanese, I don't know if the Germans used it. I think the Germans did. Even the Americans used bayonets in World War II. Okay, fight commentary breakdowns out.